Today, let's talk about a few reasons why we feel stuck, or one reason in particular, one very strong reason why we feel stuck. One of the biggest reasons why we feel stuck and we feel like we can't move on is because our self-esteem has taken a huge hit. You know, human beings have an inherent need to feel accepted. And when the people that you've relied on all these years to give you that acceptance are now looking down on you, your self-esteem takes a huge hit. It's a human need to be accepted, to be a part of something. It's a human need. There's just a few basic human needs emotionally, and that's one of them. A need for acceptance. So again, when that's ripped from us, we plummet as far as our self-esteem and how we look at ourselves. Because, you know, even though we might feel like we're making the right move, we have to remember that in our minds, we're violating the things that we have been wired with ourselves. And we remembered how we treated people ourselves back in the day. If people were in our position today, we look down on them. So you end up judging yourself. You end up punishing yourself. On top of everything else, you're actually turning on yourself. And this, in the end, causes depression. And a lot of you are feeling that right now. You're feeling depressed. You don't know how to get going. Your esteem is shot. You're so low. You know, how do you break out of this depression? You don't know which way to go. You feel very lost because at this point you're very separated from your talents and your gifts and the things that you were gifted to do. You just didn't spend enough time doing it as you grew up. In your earlier years, you didn't spend enough time doing it, so you're separated from that. You're separated from the recognition that you were getting when you were in the organization, whether you were a pioneer or ministerial servant or an elder or whatever. You know, there were pats on the back, and this is done on purpose, and they announce these things on purpose because they know there's a human need for recognition as well. Human beings need acceptance and human beings need recognition. That's why they announce those things. And a lot of times they do the opposite and they have announcements for shame, because that's also a controlling thing. But these are things that human beings need. And then we start to feel very, very lost with no sense of purpose because we don't know where to go when this huge thing is taken from our lives. There's a vacuum. Nothing to raise our esteem, nothing to make us feel good about ourselves, nothing to be accepted within. And we didn't put enough time into our skills and our talents to make them worth anything. You know, they say it takes 10,000 hours to master something. 10,000 hours. When you see people doing great things, or great musicians, or great architects, or whatever it is, it takes 10,000 hours to become great at something. Where did you spend your time? You didn't have 10,000 hours to spend anywhere else except the activities that were part of the religion. So you're lost. So ask yourself this question if you want to begin to raise your self-esteem, to feel a part of something, to feel some acceptance, and to get some recognition. Ask yourself this question: where in this world can I make a difference? When you find a place that you can make a difference, it could be anything. It could be at your children's school. It could be part of some kind of a club or organization like Rotary or Kiwanis or Lions Club, something like that, where you're making a difference. You might be feeding the homeless. You might be donating your time here or there. It could be so many different things that you could do on this planet to make a difference. For me, as a motivational speaker, a lot of times I speak with high-risk groups, troubled youths, prisons, detention homes, places like that, and it gives me a great sense of purpose, a sense of acceptance, and it gives me recognition. Okay, we need that. As human beings, we need that. So ask yourself, where could you be used? Because in that spot, you will find those things that you're missing. Instead of just being frustrated at home, trying to figure out where to go, realizing that you haven't done the things that lead to that for most people. You didn't go to college. You don't necessarily have a career, maybe. Where do you get this? You get it at the place where you make a difference on this planet. Find that place where you make a difference. Also, to raise yourself out of this funk of low self-esteem and depression, realize and admit to yourself and realize this: that you are strong, that you're not weak. Though the people still in the organization may call you weak, you're not weak, you're strong. Because you're standing on what you truly believe in. And acknowledge that to yourself and pat yourself on the back for that, because it takes strength. It doesn't take strength to go back in an unsincere way, just to be back with your family and friends. Some of us have gone that route before. That's not strength. That's when you're caving into weakness, when you haven't changed your point of view, but you go and get involved anyway. It's the strong people who are able to walk away and to say, this doesn't match with my belief systems. It's the weaker person who stays in just for all those benefits that you get while you're in it. So realize that you're strong, pat yourself on the back, know that you're special because of that. You are very, very strong. And remind yourself every day that you are someone who lives in integrity, and that's why you've made the choice that you've made, because you want to live in integrity. So when you acknowledge that to yourself, when you pat yourself on the back for those things, your esteem seems to go up, or tends to go up. So do that for yourself and find a place where you matter. So that is my word for today. I wish you all the best, and I will talk to you soon.